Alright, it's Player BN!
Hey everyone, welcome to Traveler, the AI story. This game just came out this week, and as the title suggests, this game was completely made by AI. So I'm really curious, like how they made this game. I'm guessing for the in-game dialogue, they might have used OpenAI's ChatGPT. For the images, they probably use like deep learning or CNNs, even with the music, most likely. But what I'm really curious about is what they use for the training data. I mean, if we, even looking at this opening game screen here, the style is very similar to Monet's style of artwork. So I'm really curious what they used, what pictures they used to train it, and what music they use to make the music to this game. So yeah, I guess we'll see. Let's get started. Oh, okay. Dreamer. Welcome to Traveler, a unique and immersive gaming experience unlike any other. In this game, you'll embark on a journey through a series of diverse and fantastical worlds, all crafted by advanced artificial intelligence. All right. Oh, I get to pick who I am. Oh, cool. So all these characters. Oh, sweet. I wonder if they use GANs to create these images as well. Yeah, I guess I'll keep rolling the dice. Oh, that one's cool. Ooh, that one's cool. This little guy again. I'll start with this guy. He was the first picture. Let's do that. All right, here we go. Oh, do I click on him? Click on this? There you go. Prologue. Here begins your journey to the new and unknown worlds. All right, I'm excited. Wow, this is so pretty. You look around. You are in an unfamiliar place, yet it doesn't feel strange to you. It is warm and comfortable, and everything feels right. Your instincts say this is where you should be. The air smells familiar too, only different enough that you don't think about how odd it is to smell something from another world. I wonder if every scene we interact with is going to be different for every player. As you turn around, a shadow moves behind a tree. Suddenly, you sense emotion coming towards you. Ooh, Clotho. Probably a AI-generated name too. Hello, I am Clotho. Hello. Yeah, sis, what is this place? This is a realm called Wonderland. It's home to many people in many ways. Most of them live their lives as you did, passing through life, searching for happiness and peace within themselves, while living more fulfilling lives because they are working together rather than alone. Some of these beings have been here since long ago. Others come and go, searching for answers. Many are just playing games, but others like you, who have discovered this world, come looking for something special. Something special? The greatest treasure that can be found anywhere, or so they believe. And what is this treasure? It is said that the person who finds this treasure will change the world, for good or ill. How do I find it then, and why do I want it? Clotho looks at you thoughtfully. There are two paths ahead. One leads into darkness, the other is bright and filled with light. Well, this seems like so happy, so I'm gonna go with this one. Tell me about the path that is filled with light. If you choose that road, you must continue to face your fears and grow stronger. Eventually, you will reach the end of this journey and see what you came here for, or some part of it. Tell me about the path that leads into darkness. Ooh. Clotho shakes her head. That would not be wise. If you choose that road, you must walk it yourself. But you told me there were two roads. Yes, but one will lead you away from Wonderland, possibly forever. I guess let me decide. Can you tell me which path leads to the treasure? No, I cannot. Only time can decide that for you. Why not? Because this land is unique and its rules are different from ours. The same answer will not work every time. So where should I go? Each of us has our own journey to make. You may go either way, but you must choose. Once you leave here, you may never return. When you choose, you will know, beyond any doubt, what to do next. Oh, interesting. So we can choose the light path, which may have been spelled incorrectly as ligtde. Even when walking in the light, there are shadows lurking nearby. Okay. Dark. Behind every dark place, you can find story about how it came to be. Interesting. Well, I did say we should go down the light path, and maybe another playthrough I can try out the dark path and see where that takes us. You go down path filled with light. After walking for a short distance, you find a small stone house. There are 3 steps leading up to an arched doorway. A sign hangs above the door. A sign hung above the arched doorway read, "Doorway to another world." Your hand hovers over the wood, but you hesitate. Are you ready? Yes. Without warning, the ground beneath you gives away and you sink into darkness. Whoa, this place looks really cool. You are lying on a bed of flowers. You can hear birds singing outside the window and the sun is shining brightly overhead. It feels warm and welcoming, making you forget your troubles. You open your eyes and immediately remember where you are. You are at the center of a garden in the middle of a palace. The high ceiling stretches far above you, and the walls are covered in paintings of people and animals. The floor is made from polished marble. You sit up and stretch. You look around. The room is empty except for a table and chair in the corner and a single wardrobe set in the wall. Where am I? Suddenly, a child appears. He's wearing a white silk shirt and red trousers. His golden hair falls down his back, and he has vivid green eyes and a pointed chin. He smiles. Aw, look at him. Welcome, young traveler. It is nice to meet you. You stand and bow your head to him. Thank you for having me. Please, don't thank me. We're both guests. Please, have a seat. You sit down on the edge of the bed, and the child goes and sits in front of you. So we already know this place is a palace, so let's see this. You were saying something about being a guest? I was. Do not fear. My people do not eat children. In fact, it's quite rare that we ever come across anyone who is aware of us at all. That is good to know that you do not eat children, Prospero. As you can imagine, our kind does not make any friends. Many friends. So yes, by my own admission, I am indeed a guest here. You look around the room as if looking for proof of the statement. Now what brings you to Wonderland? You smile and take a deep breath. I'm searching for something very important. Ah, so you've heard the great treasure that can be found here? Well done. That means we are already on the same page, you and I. He, Prospero. Would you like tea? Orange juice? This is really interesting. I wonder if they, I wonder what this part, why the AI generated it like this. Orange juice sounds delicious. Then please join me. We'll talk over breakfast. Then we can begin exploring, if you like. You sit across from the boy and pick up your glass. There is a faint orange flavor and a refreshing aftertaste. This is wonderful. You have excellent taste. He takes your glass and sets it aside. Here's your plate. Can I pour you some more juice? You nod and he pours another glass full. As you drink, you look around the room again. Is this your bedroom? No, it's mine. You are fortunate. You get to stay here for as long as you wish. That's really interesting. Is this your bedroom? No, but it is mine. However, if you desire to explore, you need to choose another place, and I can't always guarantee that you will be able to return here. You sip your juice and say, What is this place anyway? Why are you here? This is Wonderland. It's a magical place full of wonders and surprises. People like us come here sometimes. Most of them are like you, curious about what they might find. Others come seeking answers to questions they asked all their lives. You may find what you seek, or you may find nothing. Either way, you will learn things about yourself that you wouldn't otherwise, and you may never be. I would like to explore this place. Very well then, let's begin. Before we do anything else, shall I introduce myself? My name is Dreamer. Dreamer, yes, that is a fine name. You may call me Prospero. Prospero? It means the prosperous or the wealthy, depending on how you say it. Also, it is often used to describe someone who has achieved success. By calling me Prospero, you acknowledge my wealth. Okay, Prospero, calm down. Well then, Prospero, I suppose you should start our exploration. Yes, let's. Take a look around the room and tell me what you see. Wow, I see a lot of plants. A lot of flowers. You turn to survey your surroundings. The walls are lined with rows of painting, all depicting scenes from a fanciful, imaginary world. In front of you stands the wardrobe. 2 large doors hang beside it, and a small door opens near the bottom of the rightmost door. You pull out a chair and sit down. There's a door in the wall, isn't there? Prospero nods and grins. Indeed there is. Open it and step through it. You take hold of the handle and push the rightmost door open. Out of nowhere, there's a flash of light, and you are standing on a plain, gray, dark road that stretches far into the distance. Wow. We are in, I guess Wonderland, whatever they use to generate these figures. I don't know. The paintings must have been very, nature-esque. And I wonder if this is supposed to be the gray dirt road down here, but I don't know. I don't know if the language is supposed to be exactly following what the images are representing or not. There are trees on either side, but they don't grow tall enough to reach out all the way to the top of the sky above you. You hear no sounds other than those that nature makes, the wind rustling leaves, birds singing, and so forth. This seems like an ordinary place to me. I wonder if this was what this world looked like before... what this world looked like before we arrived here. Very good. What else can you see? Is it empty? No, there's a tower nearby. Go ahead and walk toward it. Keep your eyes peeled. You do as Prospero suggests, walking along the path for about half an hour until you come upon the first sign of life, a house built out of stone and wood, with shutters over the windows and a large porch around the entranceway. It appears unoccupied, but something moves inside, making shadows flutter across the front window. You watch carefully to make sure whatever it might be stays hidden from view. Then suddenly, one of the curtains falls aside and a small figure emerges from within. You try to look closer without being obvious about it. Also, hold on just a second. I'm going to try and increase the sound here. It's very light. The small creature is moving up 2 fingers and pointing them in different directions. She repeats her movements several times more and then steps back behind the curtain again. What is she doing? She's telling us to wait a moment. She'll get someone for us. You notice movement outside the second-story window. A woman climbs down the stairs and onto the porch. The little girl points to the ground beside her, and you realize what she's been waiting for. When the woman comes down the porch stairs, she holds out both hands and looks at you expectantly. Whoa. This is so cool. I know I've said that 10 times already, but it is really amazing the type of artwork that AI can generate, I suppose. I would love to hang out here. You take hold of her hand and it leads you through the open doorway. Inside is a large living room filled with tables and chairs. There are many bookshelves lying against one wall and an open fireplace in the corner of the room. In another corner sits a long wooden desk piled high with papers and ledgers. At the center of the room stands a round table covered by a white cloth. On top of it lies bowls of fruit, cups of water, plates of bread, and dishes filled with cooked meats. Everything smells delicious. Aw, look at her. Was she one of the characters that we could choose for Dreamer? I don't know. Welcome to my home. The child smiles brightly. I don't know if this is a child AI. Oh, this child. Oh, okay. I forgot about this child. Mother, look who came to visit. Indeed. I am glad you were able to make the journey. She gestures to the food on the table. Please help yourself while I prepare your tea. Would you like honey? Yes, please. You go around the table and take some honey from a jar sitting nearby. You put 3 spoonfuls into each cup before pouring hot water over them and stirring until it melts completely. You pour each serving into a clean teacup and return to the table where Prospero is seated. He motions for you to sit down. You do so, taking the chair across from him as he asks for his own tea to be prepared. When everything is ready, he lifts one of the cups, turns towards you and takes a sip. Then he does the same thing with the other one. Ah, this is good. He sets... Oh, interesting. This should have been the narrator. He sets both teacups back down in front of him. You smile back at him and drink from yours. The sweet taste makes your tongue tingle. How can I serve you today, Master Dreamer? The little girl approaches with her 2 fingers raised in greeting. Her voice sounds young, but not quite human. It reminds you of someone singing or whistling under their breath. You take another bite of bread, chew thoughtfully, then swallow. Thank you for having me here. I was wondering if we could talk about the treasure that everyone keeps talking about. Oh yes, we have been waiting to discuss this matter. Whoa. Everything's like pink themed now. He points to a wooden box sitting on top of a pile of papers next to the desk. There are 4 knobs on top and a keyhole on the side. 2 golden chains hang off the top. One chain ends with an enormous ruby-studded heart-shaped locket, and the second chain holds a glittering diamond tiara encrusted with rubies and sapphires. A few letters engraved into its surface suggest these belong to Queen Red. Who is Queen Red? Queen Red is the ruler of Wonderland, though I'm afraid she isn't very nice. Yeah, I'd rather ask this question first. What does she do to people who aren't nice? The child giggles and pouts, saying, She looks like a princess who doesn't like it when people laugh at her. I wouldn't like it either, child. She waves her hand towards one wall. There's a painting of her over there, if you'd like to see it. Oh, she looks very interesting. Where is her head? And, are these ravens or... It's kind of creepy, actually. You nod and stand up from the chair. The small creature leads you over to the far wall and points to one picture in particular. It shows a beautiful woman with flowing blonde hair and long red robes lined with a gold thread. Is this the hair? On either side of the frame sits 2 black ravens, which appear to be staring right through you with their shiny silver eyes. That's her. She has all sorts of jewelry made out of jewels too valuable for birds. This crown here costs more than most men make in 10 years. She turns away from the picture and gestures for you to return to your seat. What is inside the wooden box? Prospero leans forward and touches his finger to the wood beside him. He pulls his hand back quietly as smoke rises where he touched. That box was given to us by Queen Red herself. He smiles and a flicker of flames dances along his lips before vanishing. He picks up the box, opens its lid, and tilts it towards you, revealing a single large ruby resting inside on its own bed of velvet cushioning. This is what everybody wants so much. You reach down with both hands and grasp hold of the gemstone between them. Its weight is surprising. It feels like nothing less than pure magic. It is indeed, and it belongs only to those who find the secret door into her chambers. What does that mean? Secret door? Her room is hidden within another world. A doorway can open onto any place imaginable. Anyone brave enough might be able to follow this path and enter the Queen's domain. But beware! Once you're there, you must defeat her in battle wits, or else she will destroy you without hesitation. Jeez, why on earth would I do that? Can I just take the ruby without meeting Queen Red? Exactly, Dreamer. That is exactly how we should be thinking. No. Only if she lets you live. But remember, she's not very nice. She'll probably eat your face first. Oh my gosh. Are we sure we went down the right path? There's one thing you could do to prevent such an unfortunate fate. You need to present her with 3 questions you have been thinking about for quite some time. She's the queen after all. She answers anything anyone asks of her. Okay. What, story did they put into this AI, black box, that makes a queen that will eat your face? If you don't ask something good though, then she'll devour your soul instead of eating your face. Jeez, which one is better? I guess I'd rather eat my face. She pauses thoughtfully, then continues. Alright, so first off, the story came out very wholesome. You appear in this really beautiful place, and then now you're in this little cottage, and these little kids are telling you about a queen that can eat your face and Destroy your soul. That would make it much harder to win back your body afterwards, wouldn't it? Oh dear, we really shouldn't tease Dreamer like this. It won't help him prepare himself to speak to the Queen. But I am curious, what sort of questions should I ask her? The woman across from you smiles softly and says, "Oh, I forgot you were there, Mother." Well, let me think. The best questions are those that matter greatly to someone, but are never asked because they seem impossible to answer. Such as? You look at Prospero. He takes a sip from his teacup and sets it down on the table nearby. Such as, why do men hunt animals? Why do we kill them so often when our survival does not depend on them? How can people be so cruel? Or how can God allow so many bad things to happen in this world? These are important questions that everyone has thought about before, but most fear asking them out loud for fear of angering the gods or offending the other hunters. Yet every hunter secretly wonders what might cause the beast to vanish completely into the shadows of night. Yeah, those are some very good questions, and I'm wondering if the creators of this game was like, Google, what are the most commonly asked questions in the world? And then these are the questions that pop up. And these sorts of questions could defeat the Queen's power over you. Indeed! The Queen cannot stand being questioned by anyone. If she is forced to give an honest reply, or even if she simply tells the truth, then her own magic will crumble away and leave her vulnerable. This is the one thing she truly fears. I think I understand now. Can you show me how to get to the Queen? Dreamer! What are you thinking? You gotta get out of here. Certainly. He stands up and grabs your hand. You glance at the little girl and notice the grin on her face. How far along the path do you need to go? Oh, oops. That was a click too fast. You shake your head, unsure of what he means. You aren't familiar with this strange realm, nor have you ever traveled beyond this small town. Yet, you realize it won't hurt to pretend, so you answer him without hesitation. All the way. The boy chuckles softly. Then we must travel all the way until we reach that point. Ooh. This is really pretty. The moon is really nice, and it feels like we're in this really mossy cave. He releases your hand and waves the hand in front of him. A second later, there appears a long stone staircase leading down into the earth below you and disappearing into the black void. Oh, so it's a stair leading downstairs. I thought we were going upstairs to the moon. Whoa. You go down first, ascending a narrow spiral staircase lit by flickering torches set into iron sconces mounted every few feet against the wall. Each step beneath your feet brings you deeper underground as you descend farther and farther from the light. When you finally reach the bottom, you find yourself standing inside a massive cavern, surrounded by towering walls made entirely out of stacked bones. The entire space seems to be filled with them. As you continue to explore the enormous chamber, you discover that each bone is neatly carved and painted white, with various designs and images carved or etched onto them. There are giant statues cut into their surface too. Many are shaped like humans, but also look quite familiar to animals, even monsters such as dragons and sea serpents. It's not clear how they fit together or what purpose they serve here. As your eyes roam around the room looking for something, anything, that may help guide your steps toward Queen Red's palace, you see movement coming towards you across the large, empty chamber. I don't know, Dreamer. This place seems a little creepy. Is this a person? Is that a person in a dress over there? This is like Google's deep dreaming coming all together. You turn to face the sound of footsteps, only to come face to face with an immense, wrinkled old woman covered in gray, decaying skin, who's staring back at you with an intense gaze. She looks at you with eyes full of ancient wisdom, while her lips pull back to reveal row after row of jagged yellow teeth, just barely contained behind her gums. Okay, what on earth did they put in as the training data set? The story became all light and happy, and now we're in a horror visual novel here. Oh, she doesn't look too bad. Who dares approach my home? She's a light witch. Her voice sounds more like that of a cackling witch than that of a human being. And why have you ventured into my realm? To see your pretty face, of course. I'll say this first. I'm sorry, I didn't mean any harm. Do you really think I would let anyone pass through these gates unharmed, unless I was certain they had the power to defeat me? Go on, do your best to attack me. The old woman gestures wildly with one hand and grunts angrily with the other before stomping forward with all the strength left within her aged body. You take a deep breath and prepare yourself. This is it, the moment where you will either prove yourself as strong as anyone else in the world or fail utterly. You need to fight, so you close your eyes and reach out with your mind for anything that could possibly aid you in the battle. There are no weapons or tools lying around here that you can use, but there are images of different monsters, each filled with magical abilities that were drawn onto these bones above you. What if they still existed somewhere inside of them? If so, then maybe their spirits could be awakened by whatever magic exists down below. It might be enough to stop the ancient crow long enough to make a run for the exit. You open your eyes again and call upon every last bit of energy that you possess, your heart, your soul, and even the air itself. Then when the time comes, you unleash everything at once. You do not allow yourself any room for error, even if it means losing your control, even if it costs you some piece of yourself forever. You cannot lose. The old woman staggers back, hissing in anger at first, but then gasping in horror. She stumbles over her own feet, her face grown pale from shock. Her body is shaking violently, her fingers trembling as she claws desperately against the floor to steady herself. The look on her face is pure terror now. Her expression is that of an animal trapped beneath the gaze of an all-powerful predator. Who dares to? Who dares? Her words trail off into choking coughs before coming out only in ragged whispers that sound like the rustling leaves of autumn trees. Who dares? What's happening? She shudders and falls silent for a moment. The light begins to return to her eyes and her breathing grows steadier. The old woman finally looks up to meet your gaze. I am remembering. You stare back at the hag, confused by these sudden words. I'm confused too, Dreamer, don't worry. Remembering what? The old crone sighs. All this time I have been searching for the world above, searching through the dreams of others for one who has enough power to defeat me, but I did not know it would be you. And so I lost myself trying to find you again and again until it cost more than my life was worth. She grabs hold of your arm and squeezes it painfully tight, staring directly into your eyes. She takes several deep breaths and calms down just slightly. But now I see you were able to get past me. You are the very first person to ever walk through those gates, are you not? You are a new adventure here. That makes you powerful indeed. Yes. You say with a nod, unsure where she was going with all this, but feeling relieved that she no longer seems intent on attacking. The old woman releases her grip on you, then she turns around slowly and points into the distance behind her with her free hand. You must go towards the north wall of bones there. There is another staircase hidden away between the stone slabs. It will take you back up into the light once you've reached it. Once you do that, you'll find the entrance to the palace of Queen Red. Thank you. She laughs softly and waves a bony finger at you. Tisk tisk. Go forward, for I cannot allow you to remain in my realm. This place has become too dangerous since your arrival. Okay, you attacked us first, lady. You continue following the direction she had pointed earlier, and soon come upon a winding staircase leading up towards a brighter part of the chamber. The walls of the bone begin to disappear as you make your way back up out of this ancient cave into the land of the living. I really like the flowers down here, and just like the style. This must be Monet. You arrive out Queen Red's throne room and step out of the long stairwell out into an expansive marble floor covered in gleaming golden tiles. A tall tower made entirely of ivory rises above you. It steps spiraling higher and higher until they vanish from sight completely somewhere far overhead. Alongside it stands another tower, one built entirely of silver and lined with elegant white pillars carved into shape of gargoyles' claws and teeth. Okay, I was not expecting that. Oh man, I clicked too fast, sorry. You realize that these towers must have been designed to reach high enough to touch the ceiling of the cavernous hall, soaring to such dizzying heights that their tops could never be seen by anyone down below. Oh, okay, it's getting a little creepy here. And also, I just realized the music's like been the same this entire time. You look across the massive chamber filled with silent people gathered along every inch of ground. They're all dressed in black, but not all are human beings. If I ever entered a room and everyone's just like looking away from me and not moving, it's a little creepy. Some appear more like beasts, while others are half animal and half man, looking very different from those who inhabit this world, yet still similar in nature and appearance. All of them stand quietly and watch you. Most seem to recognize what you are for and eagerly wait your approach. You approach one of the characters. Aww, he's like a little bat. In which tower does the queen live? His name's Hooded, that's cute. What should I do for him? He's like a little bat. The queen resides in both towers. Just give him a southern accent. She smiles at your curiosity. Well, what do you mean by that? The queen is two souls. One soul lives in each tower. Together they rule over all within our realm. So I can enter any tower? Yes, that is true. You climb the stairs to the first tower. A huge iron gate blocks the hallway leading to the large wooden door. Through the bars of the gates, you can just barely see the entrance to a lavish, ornate room where the queen sits upon her throne. Oh, finally, we get to see the queen. She's a beautiful creature with hair as dark as night, wearing a red gown embroidered with gold thread. She's seated on a cushion of fur, watching with bright blue eyes framed by long eyelashes. Her beauty is breathtaking, but her gold gaze unsettles you. It's really interesting because in the beginning, when we first saw a picture of her, she was wearing a red gown with the gold thread, but she had blonde hair, was what the picture said, or what the people told Dreamer. Excuse me, I wish to speak with the queen. The guard. Of course. Oh, sorry, it's a guy. He unlocks the gate and opens it wide so you may pass inside. Once you are gone, he closes the gate again and locks it securely. You hear him mutter under his breath. There's always one. Oh, she looks so pretty. Queen Red continues to glare at you with an inscrutable expression. So ornate in here. Welcome. Thank you for seeing me. She nods slightly and folds her hands in her lap. Please, sit down. As you settle yourself on the cushioned seat, she leans forward and asks, Why have you come here? Oh, oops. Her voice is soft and gentle, but it carries an unmistakable authority that makes it impossible to meet. She speaks clearly, yet somehow her tone and diction seem to make every word ring out like a bell. You swallow, then answer. I seek your assistance. Her eyes narrow. Assistance. I need to ask you 3 questions. Your answers will determine whether I continue my journey in this world. Okay, so that's really cool. It keeps consistent with the storyline. Questions about my kingdom. About your very existence. She pauses for a moment. Very well. What do you want to know? You're not quite sure where to begin, so you start with the easiest question. How did this world come to exist? The queen smiles faintly. We came together. We were born from the same dream. You mean we were dreaming the same thing at the same time? That's right. Dreams are the foundation of reality. Dreams create our hearts, our minds, and the worlds they reside in. What we perceive as the world is only an illusion, a mirage created by the imagination itself. I see. When our dreams merge, then they become memories. When they are shared, they are stories. And when they are told in story form to others, then they become legends. Legends are the seeds of history. History is the harvest of memories that become legend. Oh, so it's interesting. It's the font of the narrator, but I'm guessing the queen is still speaking. History is the harvest of memories that become legend. Legend becomes myth and then finally becomes truth. That is how this world was forged. You ask the second question. Where did I come from? The queen shrugs. From your mother's womb? Or perhaps from the depths of your own mind? She laughs softly and adds, Have you ever wondered about that? How did you get here? Why are you here? Can you tell me the story of your birth? No, I don't think I can. Not in any coherent way. Then you are wise beyond your years, for many children grow up with stories that explain how they came to be. But what if there are no stories? What if it is more complicated than that? It is for me. This world feels very real to me. I feel as though it belongs here, as though everything's connected in some inexplicable way. Ah, indeed it is. Your mind is a labyrinth filled with secrets. There is much within you that you do not understand. Much that remains hidden into you. You need to learn to unlock the doors of your own mind and discover those mysteries for yourself. Let us visit my other tower. I will show you something wonderful there. She stands up, then begins to walk towards the door. Will you follow me? Yes, please. You follow her to the silver tower. As you step inside, you notice that the interior of the building is illuminated with an ethereal glow, making everything sparkle in a way that seemed almost too perfect to be real. I would love to visit this place in my dreams. Glittering crystals line the walls, windows and arches reflecting the sunlight streaming down through the glass roof overhead. The air is thick and humid, but warm and inviting. Queen Red gestures towards one of the doors inside the tower. Come, you should rest here for a while. You look exhausted. It will help you to gain focus. You nod gratefully and step inside. The room is furnished with comfortable couches and chairs, each carved with ivory and each lined with a thick layer of pillows. You sink into a plush chair and pour yourself a cup of tea, brewed from the finest leaves. It is sweet and fragrant, like summer flowers blooming in full bloom. In fact, the whole room smells of roses. A faint scent of lavender wafts in the air, adding to a relaxing ambience. Thank you. My pleasure. I hope you enjoy your stay. You sip your tea and close your eyes. You wake up and find yourself sitting in the middle of a vast garden filled with brilliant blossoms. Sunlight shines down upon your face as you sit on a white couch surrounded by fluffy pillows. You stretch and look around to find yourself in a room filled with fine fabrics and rich tapestries. Good morning. Hello. Where are we? We are in my garden, and you are welcome here. Thank you. May I ask why I am here? To explore your mind. And mine. Oh. There's no need to feel nervous or uncomfortable. I would prefer if you did not feel either of those things. All right. What happens now? Now we walk among the flowers and talk. You follow the queen through the garden, stopping now and then to admire the beauty surrounding you. From the topiary to the trellises, every flower is perfectly shaped and arranged in rows and columns, each one looking like a sculpture of its own. Flowers of every imaginable color and variety fill the entire space. Pink and purple hydrangeas, yellow and orange marigolds, red tulips, blue iris, and dozens of others. A gentle breeze blows a sense of perfume and fresh spring water over you. This is the place of great peace. I often come here when I need to clear away the clutter of my thoughts, so that I may hear better. I can understand that. This is beautiful. Yes. Perhaps you wish to move on now? You look at her and shake your head. No, wait, let's go deep into the garden. Do you mind? Not at all. You continue wandering through the garden, pausing to take in the sights and smell the flowers. While the queen follows along behind you, you stop suddenly. Turning slowly, you look back the way you've come. You cannot help but notice the sheer number of flowers in every direction you turn. So many that they fill the landscape completely, leaving no gaps or empty spaces between them. Every inch of ground is covered with lush green grass, carpeted with colorful petals. You cannot imagine how such a sight could ever be possible. It is hard to tear your eyes away from the beauty before you. Suddenly, you realize that Queen Red is near you. Is something wrong? No, nothing's the matter. This is simply amazing. I never thought I'd see anything so beautiful in my life. Indeed, it is. Each flower has been carefully chosen for its beauty. Each one was planted with care. Everything in this garden is alive, even the rocks and stone. I don't understand. How can an entire garden be made up of flowers? Dreamer, this is very common, little one. The queen sighs gently and then smiles. It is not so strange once you understand the nature of this place. Come with me. Wow. This is so lovely. You follow her to another area of the garden and find yourself standing next to a tall marble fountain. Queen Red walks down the steps and kneels before you, placing her hands upon the smooth surface. She whispers a few words and then reaches into the fountain, drawing forth a shining locket. Then she turns and gives it to you. You open the box and find a single rose inside, glistening like the sun itself. Its petals are as vibrant and flawless as the morning dew. Holding up to your nose, you breathe in its fragrance. It is strong and sweet, like honey and sugar mixed together. You close your eyes briefly and inhale deeply, letting the bouquet of scent flow into your brain. You feel yourself relax. It is perfect, isn't it? I'll say this. Perfect. The whole garden is perfect. Thank you. This is yours now, to keep forever. Thank you. You stand up and hold the locket tightly in your hand. You ask the final question. Oh no, if we fail this question, is the queen going to eat our face? What is the meaning of my existence? Many people wonder this. They ask themselves why they are here, what their purpose is in life. Yes, I am one of these people. Then allow me to answer your question. Your existence is not unique. You are part of a greater whole. You're like a grain of sand dropped into the ocean of possibilities. Your presence is necessary to the larger picture. Though you may not recognize it, your role is critical. Wow, we have a lot of philosophical, like, positive self-help answers here. You're saying I have a reason for being here? You are not alone. There is much that connects you to the rest of the world. Just as each stone and leaf in this garden depends on the others, so do you depend on the world around you. Together, we make a greater whole. So all these things we see, all this beauty, exists for a reason. Everything that exists serves a purpose. This is the nature of all that exists. Everything is connected. One thing affects another. This is the law of cause and effect. And when your actions affect the world around you, then so does everyone else's. To put it simply, you are not an island. I see. So we are all dependent on one another. Perhaps not in a conscious way, yet you know this is true. If you could only see and understand it fully, then maybe you would feel differently. Are you suggesting that I need to learn more about myself? Perhaps, but don't try to force yourself to figure it out. Let it happen naturally. Think about your past experiences. Take time to reflect on them. Listen to the sounds of nature. Observe the flowers, the trees. They speak to us with silence. We must be patient and listen closely. I'll remember that. Thank you. My pleasure. You walk back to the palace with the queen. She shows you a room where you can prepare for dinner. When you return, you find several servants preparing your meal. I think this is the first time we see a repeated picture. You sit down to eat and discover that it's delicious, like nothing you've ever tasted before. It is as though every bit of food you consume is bursting with flavor and nutrition. At the end of the evening, Queen Red walks you back to your room. Sleep well, dear child. Tomorrow you begin your journey home. You hug her goodbye and fall asleep thinking about everything the queen said. Wow, that was like a really long chapter. So we got a compass and we got the red ruby. That was very cool. What is this? The desert. You will need unordinary friends in order to search for treasure in this hostile place. And I really wonder what the dark story is. This is really cool. I'm really curious to see what other AI generated characters we see and what kind of other storylines that the AI generated. Because I guess in the first story, we meet a queen and we have to ask her 3 questions. And if we don't ask her the right questions, then she'll eat our face or kill our soul. But I guess Dreamer did a really good job, and she ended up giving us a really pretty locket and a really nice garden. The trajectory of wholesome to like scary was like a sine wave in this game. And I wonder if the dark story is going to be like that too. It's going to start really creepy and then suddenly become really like wholesome and maybe creepy again. But I guess we will see. All right. Okay, everyone, thank you so much for watching. I guess I will see you all in the next episode, and we will see what the dark story will do. Until next time, thank you all again. Bye.